A probation hearing takes a dramatic turn as Pedro Garcia fights to avoid a 20-year prison sentence. He admits to violating his probation by using methamphetamine and failing to report, but claims he was homeless and a victim of assault. The judge presses him on inconsistencies in his story, questioning if he's being truthful. Will the court show mercy and continue his probation, or will his past decisions lead to a long prison term? This is the tense moment where his fate is decided.
Okay, so Danielle Davis, what are we doing on that? And then Pedro Garcia.
I'm ready on Garza.
What are you doing on Garcia? Oh,
That's going to be a highlight with Mr. Ham, and I think he's going to use it's a MTRP, right?
Yeah. What are we doing with Danielle Davis?
Danielle Davis, I believe that they want to look at. What do you want to do?
Well, I believe Mr. Booker's probably going to be on the trial docket, Your Honor, with the officer in that case. And Ms. Davis would.
What do you want to do with Danielle Davis?
We could just reset her, see where we're at.
All right, let's reset. Okay.
I'm ready for
Pedro Garza.
ready right now.
Pedro Garza?
He said he
34582. Pedro Garza.
Your Honor, the judge.
We now call 20-34582, the state of Texas versus Pedro Garza Jr. That's you, sir. There is a first amended motion to revoke unadjudicated probation here. What are we going to do today?
He's ready to enter his plea on that.
Unagreed?
Yes, sir.
All right. Does the defendant waive a formal reading of this? Can we proceed in silence?
Yes, sir.
And raise your right hand, sir. Do you solemnly swear or affirm any statements you make today will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Lower your hand. In summary, this first amended motion to revoke unadjudicated probation, in this case filed on September 25th of 2023, in summary states that on November 1st, 2021, you were placed on 10 years deferred or unadjudicated probation for aggravated assault in this case. Is that true?
Yes, sir.
Allegation by, we haven't had a hearing on any of this before. No.
We did, Judge.
We did. We pleaded true to allegations 1, 2, and 3.
Yes, sir.
Back on February 27th, 2023. And what happened on that?
General, what you did on that date is you granted our motion, but you continued the matter and held them in abeyance. You set it up for a review for every 90 days at that stage.
Okay. So let's go to allegation under First Amended number 5. This states that you failed to report to the Jefferson County Probation Office for the months of July and August of 2023 in violation of your probation order. Is that true or untrue?
That is true, sir.
6, you failed to report to the criminal district court, this court, as required on or about July 27th, 2023. Is that true or untrue?
Specifically, that would have been the review hearing, Judge, was scheduled for that day.
I wasn't told about that.
Number 7, you provided a urine sample on or about May 15th, 2023, which showed the presence of methamphetamine and amphetamine in your system. Is that true?
That is true, sir.
And
I was.
hey, hold on. You'll get a chance to explain. 8, you provided a urine sample on or about July 27th, 2023, which showed the metabolic byproducts of methamphetamine in your system on that date, which is in violation of your probation order. Is that true?
That is true, sir.
Are you pleading true to allegations 5, 7, and 8, as alleged in this first amended motion to revoke probation that we have reviewed with you that you pleaded true to? Are you pleading true voluntarily, knowingly, intelligently, and because those allegations are indeed true?
I am, sir.
Do you understand by a knowing and voluntary plea of true to an allegation of probation, that is enough to grant this motion to revoke probation by preponderance of the evidence or greater? Your probation can be revoked and you can be found guilty and sentenced up to the full range of punishment. In this case, aggravated assault is a second-degree felony. So you're looking at no less than 2 nor more than 20 years confinement in prison, and a fine up to $10,000 can be assessed. Knowing that, Do you insist on pleading true today?
I do, sir.
I find you pleading true voluntarily. You understand and appreciate the consequences of pleading true. Now, I'm going to make a change here. You were not fined any money on the original finding of placing you on probation. However, restitution was ordered in the amount of $13,256.10. And where are we on that? Never?
No,
Nothing's been paid on that?
nothing's been paid since
No, how much has been paid toward,
1650. $1,650
has been paid toward restitution?
towards restitution.
Oh, okay. I see where we are. Go ahead. There's no agreement. Go ahead, Mr. Adams.
All right. The First Amendment motion to revoke your unadjudicated probation, you see that that's filed on September the 25th, 2023, that's at the top, all right? And I think Mr. Helms has mentioned that you were in court, I believe, in July, Mr. Helms said. No, it was February.
It was July.
Or July. Well, you're supposed to show up in court for July. And then prior to July, I believe the testimony was when Judge Stevens had a review. And that would have been in what, in February, right? I believe it's February. It was February. All right.
I'm not here to answer your questions, sir.
So,
You want me to put him on there?
no. So, I guess my question to you is this. When you had a hearing, the judge had opportunity to say that, hey, we're going to continue to be on supervision, we're going to review it. What happened when you got out of jail? What were you doing?
I was looking for a job and I went to go stay with my brother. He didn't have any more room there.
Okay, so you go stay with your brother in March, and then what happens when you get to your brother?
I was staying there and, looking for work.
Okay. So were you able to find work? Where did you go look for work?
At like Gulf Copper and some restaurants.
Okay. Did they hire you or not hire you?
They didn't.
Okay, so when they didn't hire you, did you try to find any other work?
Yes.
And where did you try to find work?
Like painting houses.
Did you do that?
Yes, sir, for a little bit. Yeah.
Okay. And the money that you made with painting houses, what did you do with that money?
I was at that point, I was like basically surviving by getting food, and I didn't have nowhere to stay because I had to move out of my brother's house.
Now, I know you're staying with your brother. I know you're staying with your brother in March. Okay. How long do you stay with your brother from March until when?
About a month.
So let's say April, you're homeless now, right? And with you being homeless, where do you live?
I was basically surviving. I was staying by the Port Arthur Inn and just trying to, still looking for work and using the Port Arthur transit system to get from point A to point B. And when I didn't have any money, I was eating at the soup kitchen and I was staying outside. And
okay. So with you using whatever money you could get to meet your necessities,
yes.
As far as your court assessed fees, did you have any extra money to be able to pay toward that?
I hardly had any.
Okay. And with you hardly having any money, could you borrow any money from anybody?
My family wasn't here. No, I didn't even try to grow them.
And did you have any property that you could sell to pay towards your fees?
Not much.
So, and then with I see on the First Amendment, in its amended paragraph 5, how they said that you failed to report in July and August. Did you have transportation to report?
No, I didn't.
Did you have anybody that would bring you the report?
Everybody was busy. all the time.
And then with number 6, where it says failed to show up to the criminal district court on about July 27, 2023. What happened with that?
I didn't receive anything at my stepdad's saying that I had to be there or anything like that. Nobody ever told me before.
Waiting on that. No, don't do that to me.
So you're saying that you didn't have any notice about that July 27th hearing. And then on 7 and 8, you admitted that you did test positive for the methamphetamine on May the 15th. And I see another date is July the 27th for the methamphetamine. Could you explain to the court what happened there?
I was staying on the street and these people, like I told my probation officer, and staying in these apartments called Lewis Manors. And I was staying in an abandoned apartment at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And thank God that, I got away from there.
Mm-hmm.
I just staying outside of all apartments, going, waiting on a ride to go to anger management.
Mm-hmm.
I got beat up.
Mm-hmm.
We're just standing out there.
Okay.
They gave me, sometimes people out there would give me food.
Mm-hmm.
And they gave me a cup, something to drink and
Mm-hmm.
some stuff in it.
Mm-hmm. So, and that's how you got the methamphetamine into your system, was because somebody gave you something?
That's fine.
Right.
Can you get this perfect?
So are you asking the judge, I made you aware of Mr. Ham's offer in this case of 5 years, TDCJ. Did you say you wanted the opportunity to go directly to the court, right? Right?
Yes.
And you currently on deferred adjudication. Are you asking the court, if the court would not keep you on deferred, to consider straight probation and give you an opportunity to get back on your feet?
Can I do that on an aggravated assault with a deadly weapon?
You cannot, Judge.
Are you asking to continue on probation?
Yes. I towards when I got arrested, I'm working. I'm working now, and I've got a bus.
So you say you got where would your apartment be if you would get out?
136. I mean, it's a garage apartment,
And that's located in what city?
Port Arthur.
So you got a place to live?
Yes.
And will you
I have a job now.
Gotcha.
And
Yeah, where will you be working?
I'll be working for a renovation company, and they paint and renovate houses,
Mm-hmm.
interior.
Mm-hmm.
We just did it's in Port Arthur, Nikki's Lounge.
Okay,
Johnny is the owner.
I know what that
And he
is.
works for the city of Port Arthur. And work for him.
And the biggest thing, I see you on probation for the aggravated assault. While you've been on probation, have you gotten any kind of fights? Have you
No.
threatened anybody?
No.
Have you done anything that would involve violence?
No.
So if the court considers keeping you on probation, would you be a threat to anybody?
No.
Would you try to harm anybody? And from what your testimony I heard is when you were at Lewis Manor, you in fact got beat up, right? And did this happen on more than one occasion or just one time?
Happened twice.
Right. And did that have a bad impact on you?
Even my probation officer was like, I asked her, and even when I went to anger management classes, like, they could help me. Like find a place to live, and work. And, they just.
I thought you said you'd been working.
Huh?
I thought you said you'd been working.
Oh, yes. I mean, I recently.
Well, what's your story? Either
Recently
they'll have to help you get work, or do you have a job?
I have a job.
How long have you been working with them?
Been working with them for like 3 months now.
Okay. How much has he paid in the last 3 months?
The last 3 months?
Yes, ma'am.
Nothing.
Well, that's odd. He's working.
I think
I thought you said you had an income.
Yes, it isn't much.
Well, what's your? Are you making this stuff up as we go? Well, it sounds like a little smoke being blown in my face here. But well, you're supposed to turn some monies over, a fair amount of monies toward. You got restitution here, a ton of restitution. You cut up a man pretty good, and my goodness, that's. But you're kind of whining about not having a place to stay, but you're working. You've been working for months. You said it's a pretty good job, but none of that money has found its way toward the probation office as you were required to pay.
Sometimes I have to wait for 2 weeks.
I'm talking about the last 3 months.
I've only been there about like 2.5 months, but we get paid every 2 weeks.
What's your final answer on that story? Is it 3 months or is it 2.5 months now?
2.5.
Okay.
so. I guess my last question to you is that you're asking court to keep you on probation and not send you to prison up to 20 years. I know you said no to the 5-year offer, but could you say in your own words why are you asking not to go to prison?
I've ever been in a shock state. This is it, and I'm not a bad person. And I've never ever had any kind of record other than tickets.
Let me see that.
And I will get on track, and I ask a second chance for the mercy of
Tickets. Hold on. Let's fix this here. Okay. You got a family assault in 98, $650 fine, 20 days in jail for driving while intoxicated, while license suspended in 2005. That's just not a ticket. That's jail. 2007, 30 days in jail for driving while license invalid. Also on that, driving while license suspended, you picked up 2 sets of sentences of 30 days in jail in each of those. Then in 8/29/2007, 6 months later, driving while license invalid, 5 days in jail. These are not tickets, sir. These are actual confinements. Tickets are where you pay fine only. Then you had a DWI in Galveston County, 8 days in jail in 2018. And a driving while intoxicated second time here in Jefferson County, 45 days in jail. Failures to appear, 20. Now, traffic offenses, 28. And then alcohol, open container, public intoxication, theft, that puts you over the 50 mark for those kinds of Class C misdemeanors. But you've been to jail on several cases. So don't tell me it's raining when it's really not raining. Well, yeah.
Yes, sir.
You got to be, you're under oath. You're supposed to be, really, I'm going to make a decision on your life, and you're trying to fudge and trying to blow smoke in my face. That's what you're doing. Well, I've just told you things that are incorrect from what you said. They're blatant falsehoods, and nobody knows more about your life than you. All right.
that is true. Though it was
Go ahead. I mean, you got to be forthright with me. My goodness. Keep going.
That was the last question I
Let
had.
me have the probation office. I want to here's some feedback. How would you summarize his probation?
June of 23, he reported, and he was informed of his court date at that time. He also reported he was homeless, and he was referred to rescue missions, and he refused to go. He was also referred to Texas Workforce, and he never gave any indication that he ever went.
Is that true or not, sir? I can't imagine my probation officer would be telling. She has no reason to lie. She is trying to help you be successful. She hates to see anybody fail. I know her. We have an 85% success rate with probation. So she's telling me things differently from what you just told me under oath.
I did. I went and I did tell my probation officer I was homeless, but the rescue mission didn't have nowhere to go. They didn't have no room at the time.
Well, you're not your probation is not violated for being homeless. That's not a condition of probation. We want you to be successful and try to help you, but being homeless is not a violation of probation. I'm talking about all the other things. You've pleaded true to 1, 2, 3, 4 violations. All right. And anyway, anything else?
That's pretty mercy, sir. And to start to pay to get it on track. I have a place now, and I have where to work.
I know, but you're making that promise, but you had money in your hands for 3 months and that never found its way to the probation office to take care of your obligations. Right. You've been on probation, what, 2 months and 2 years and 3 months?
I ask for your mercy, Mr. Steve.
That's 27 months of opportunity to show what you can do. Well, stay close.
Judge, I want to point out to the court that the defense chose never to address the drug issues. That's a problem.
That's okay.
Number 2, whenever we were here previously back in February of 23, Your Honor chose to keep him on probation. It was an unagreed plea, much like we're doing right here. This man went without reporting from April 25th of 2022 up until he was arrested in September of 22. And then he appeared in, MTRP was filed in September of 22. He wasn't arrested until January of 23rd. So my point there is that he went 9 months without supervision, not reporting. And I remember, Your Honor, addressing all that with him about how he needed to take care of that. And the reason why I'm highlighting that is because we got the same problem again. Everything we just heard doesn't even address what it is that it amounts to. He has no intention of following through and taking care of this. He has now successfully gone without reporting, except for the one time that Miss Georgia told the court about in June, in all of 23. So although he's been on probation for a period of 2 years, he's gone all that time frame without reporting, doing whatever he wanted to, which includes using drugs. This offense itself, whenever he stabbed this poor innocent man up over no reason, the only reason why I granted him an offer of probation from the state's perspective was because of the amount of restitution that was due. It also took into account his lack of felony history, but he had plenty of misdemeanor history. That offense itself warrants the 5 years that I suggested would be appropriate. I stand by that offer as a resolution today.
I think that from Mr. Ham's argument and his timeline, they match up, because from what he said was he moved in with his brother in March. And then as I understand it, he was homeless as of April. So in response to Mr. Ham's, whether it's reporting or not, as I understand it, he's homeless as of April. He doesn't have transportation. He got beat up twice in Lewis Manor Apartments. And then as far as addressing the drug issue, I think what he said is that someone had given him some. I mean, you heard the testimony. I mean, you remember what he said. I think he said something to the effect that somebody had given him something.
That's his story.
Right. But he did respond to the issue of how the drug got into his system. He's just asking now that he wants to move forward. He seems remorse to me. I mean, you looking at him with your own eyes. I mean, he appears to be very remorseful to me, and he appears as though
Everybody appears remorseful in front of this court, for the most part.
Right. So I think that his last statement to you was that he's begging you for mercy. I think that's the last thing he said.
All right, anything else? If not, I'm going to find that there is sufficient evidence supporting this first amended motion to revoke unadjudicated probation to grant it by a preponderance of the evidence or greater, as allegations 5, 6, 7, and 8 have been proven true. And thus the defendant's deferred or unadjudicated probation is hereby revoked. Earlier in this case, Mr. Garza pleaded guilty voluntarily. He was mentally competent to do so. He understood the consequences of pleading guilty. There was sufficient evidence supporting his guilty plea from State's Exhibit 1 admitted to find him guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. I now find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt of this aggravated assault with the use of a deadly weapon, namely a knife. And I hereby find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. You are hereby sentenced, as your probation is now revoked, to confinement in the institutional division of the Texas Department of Criminal Justice to serve a term of 5 years. You will be given credit for all time you have served in accordance with this case. And again, a deadly weapon, namely a knife, will be affirmatively shown on the judgment. How much is his restitution left?
Balance is $13,256.
And restitution is assessed and in the judgment at $13,256. Anything else? That is all. Thank you.